To get young boys to adopt the culture of reading, football coach Keagan Hertz penned down a relatable and easy-to-read book titled A Ball in the Mud, a football tale like no other. The read takes us on a journey of Rustenburg-based young and aspiring football player Thulani Sibeko as he tries to fulfill his dreams of becoming the next big star in the game. Keagan joins us now from our studios in Durban to tell us more about this read. Keagan, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Thank you.
Now, Keagan, we haven't really been seeing a lot of books, particularly novels, about the culture of football in South Africa specifically. What inspired you to write this book?
It's three-part, really. I think there's three reasons. First one is obviously the state of our football in this country. It needs a lot of work, and there's structures in place, the talent being produced. The structures to identify talent, the quality of players that are coming through. So the state of our football definitely inspired me to do it. Then there was another part, is that education. I was astounded to hear that 80% of grade 4s in this country can't read. Till grade 8 that number doesn't improve much, so to give them a book that they can read, they can hopefully enjoy, that would encourage them to read, and then try and improve the state of our education through reading, and also in terms of our state of our nation, the problems we have. It addresses a lot of emotional, mental problems within young people, within older generation too, from a spiritual perspective, from a race perspective. And then thirdly, the third reason for writing the book was in honor of my mother. She recently passed from cancer, so I had to do something in her honor, and that's what inspired me.
Well, our condolences to you and your family, Keagan. Now, let's look at the book. It's based in Rustenburg and follows the life of TJ, an aspiring football player, and his soccer team. Talk to us about his character and his journey to becoming the best player he can be. He grows up very tough. He grows up in a tough home, a father that's a miner, a mother that's a domestic worker, and he's got 6 siblings. Tough lifestyle in the township, having watched a lot of young people, a lot of young boys gone and been with these families throughout my coaching career. I got to see them, I got to relate to them and see their struggle, their daily struggle. And it inspired me to really tell their story, in that it's very difficult as a young man with the coaching they receive, the quality of the football they're getting taught. It's very difficult for them to make it. So I wanted to give them a character they could relate to. There's many TJs around the country. It's not just one TJ. There's many TJs that dream of being the best footballer in the world, to help them escape from a life of poverty, a life of pain. And so I think they were the inspiration behind TJ. He's a young boy, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to be the best footballer in the world. He's hungry and has a will to never give up. He faces a lot of challenges with his team. And the book takes a hell of a twist that most people won't expect, and that he then gets taught many life lessons, many football lessons that will help him on his journey. And I think if you want to be a footballer, if you want to become a footballer, reading the book will help. If you want to learn the technical side of the game, the physical side, the mental side, it's all there. There's even a lot of spirituality in there. He questions God's intentions for him, and he figures out what they are. So I'd like to feel but from the kids that have read it, they've all told me it's an inspiring read, and hopefully it can inspire many more in their lives and in their football. Now, Keagan, you've just mentioned that, for any aspiring footballer, this is an amazing book to read. Let's look at what you're hoping to achieve beyond this book. Are you perhaps going to go across the country, maybe book signing events, but also having conversations with aspiring footballers and maybe the people who actually hold the powers when it comes to football in South Africa?
Yes, no, definitely. I will be traveling around the country. That's why I'm in Durban actually now. I want to give this as much scope as I can. Internationally, I'd like to raise awareness internationally too, that South Africa does have a voice. We do want to start
raising our hands in the football world and say we have some of the most talented, some of the most incredibly talented footballers in this country, naturally talented, that deserve a voice, and they need to be heard. And I think I definitely will be traveling all over the country, hopefully inspiring young people to read. And I'm involved with a few football people now in my life. For instance, I spoke to Putsa Musamani recently, the Sundowns manager, and he said the book's it's a great read, and it could be a movie, you know. So it's nice to hear those things from people in the game, and even obviously all the organisation I work in. There's a lot of great things coming from what I'm hearing, and so hopefully I'll be doing a lot of travelling, and hopefully I can get this book out as much as possible. It's not a financial thing for me. It's a story of hope, and hopefully it's a shining light in what we're doing here in this country. So I have started work on the next book as well, and yeah, let's see where that goes. Let's see where it takes us.
Keagan,
one day at a time.
Keagan, congratulations on an amazing book, and thank you so much for joining us on Morning Live.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And that was Keagan Hertz joining us from our studios in Durban. He's written a very interesting book looking at the sporting fraternity, specifically football in South Africa. It was an interesting discussion there, looking at some of the ups and downs of a teenage boy in Rustenburg.